The idea that Roger Waters and Donald Trump are at odds with one another takes shape behind a sandbag crowd who promote the notion that Reagan wasn't a lead player in bringing about the genocide that we are living through and witnessing. Such an idea is not only absurd, but easily disproven, and I propose to help you understand how. Reagan was powerful enough to serve as two-term president, and he lived to be older than most presidents ever have. I believe he may have been the oldest president. And that was not so long ago. Clearly, when he blames liberals for abortion, he has in mind confusing the text of bunker buster bombs being dropped on tents. Now, he influenced all that. His time span was the killdozer that burrowed over Rachel Corrie and brought us to where we are. And the proof of that is the sandbagger lobby led by Roger Waters. It's easy to prove that Roger Waters worked with Donald Trump on the cover-up of the AIDS attack. It's easy to prove. Her name is Rosine Monteleone. She was a perky-breasted Trump Confederate who came to cover for Mount Desert Island and Gail Burstyn by coming onto me and blowing up a nerve agent that Wattenmaker had implanted. You can see that in the illustrations of Gail Burstyn and the description of the personality change. They knew exactly and scientifically, as sports warriors, how to operate to detonate the neuroplasm to create a false appearance. And the soulless judiciary said, we notarize this crime, and refused to hear from the victim. Roger Waters is the maverick of triumphalizing deceit. The idea that Jimmy Carrey wasn't poisoned with a nerve agent. He took LSD because he wanted to have fun like John Lennon. Voids all the evidence and negates all the information and triumphalizes deceit in a manner that characterizes and hallmarks Roger Waters' cultural dominion for the belligerence, the totality structure, and the genocide of Donald Trump. And it traces back to their partnership with Ronald Reagan. Triumphalism of Deceit can be seen when the soulless judiciary see the nerve agent, the name Wattenmaker, who's in neurobehavioral research at Pitt, identify the actors and the ages of the actors and even the virtual confessions of the actors who tortured me. And they put it aside and say, we do not see that because we have established the deceit of triumphalism over this dominion. It's like coming up against the belligerent imp who says, I don't see what's obviously there. The soulless machinery of Nosferatu in the judiciary of the United States also takes the form of looking at the evidence. When I believed that John Lennon had been killed, they said there was no evidence that Gail Burstyn had scripted the claim that John Lennon was murdered in advance. And I said she did. because I was deceived. I believed that John Lennon really died. He was a party to this operation. But be that as it may, they simultaneously with denying that Gail Burstyn scripted this whole thing, which is the evidence I brought, denying that, blamed me for his death. That's how soulless and triumphalist the deceit of Allegheny County's judiciary is. And who turned out to have introduced me to Gail Burstyn in the first place? An Allegheny County magistrate and her daughter. Triumphalism of deceit is the soulless nature of our leadership in this belligerent totality committing genocide, and it traces back to and includes the reign of Ronald Reagan, despite what the sandbaggers ridiculously allege. Ridiculously. They've made their complaints about what's happening to Gaza, which I certainly share, it's an outrage, into a shield to cover for the partnership of Roger Waters and Donald Trump.